Okay, let's rebuild the coin door. Good day, fellow Russians. Welcome back to the channel. A lot of people have been asking me, hey, when are you going to do a coin door? Well, let's do a coin door. As you can see, this is a Bally coin door. Really quickly, I want to talk about whoever designed these, man, were they smart? There's a whole bunch of things that have to happen. Okay, aside from the fact that it needs to accept coins to credit the game up, but there's also some fail safes put into this so that if the game's not on, for example, it shouldn't take quarters. And the main thing that really impresses me is how many pieces there are. There's, I don't know, I don't think I'll count them. That'll take too long. But I guarantee there's probably 400 or 500 different pieces, including the screws and all that stuff, to put one of these things together. And very, very complicated, but simple at the same time. So let's take this apart. Let's make it all nice and new. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to bother with this skin because it's dented. It's not in bad shape, but you know, the game I'm putting it on deserves something a bit better. So what you're going to need as far as tools go, I'm going to definitely recommend you get an electric screwdriver with a Phillips bit. So think a number 2 Phillips, and then you go to town. So okay, the strategy behind disassembly is literally doing that. There is no real science behind this. Remove all the screws that you can. Make sure you have a receptacle to put the screws in. Take pictures. That always helps. That way you get the screws back to where they belong and you can get a reference for assemblies. But the magic behind getting this coin door all nice and pretty and functioning properly is the reassembly, which I will take a lot longer to do. So I'm going to actually start just to go a little faster on the video here, because disassembly, again, is not really that difficult. It's just be logical when you do it. Write down any steps you think might be important, and I will bring you back and slow things down in a bit. So you see me wrapping up some screws in a couple of seconds with some green tape. Use whatever color you want. Just make sure you wrap them and don't separate them because they are unique to those specific components. Okay, so I've taken the majority of it out, but leaving this part here just to show you how a couple of the mechanisms work. First of all, these are the coin acceptors. So when you drop the coin through the slot, which is now over here, it goes through this mechanism. I'll show you how that works in a second. And then it drops out here and it flicks this switch as well. But to remove the coin door, there's a little lever. You lift it. Come on, buddy. Yeah, it just pulls, and then there's a latch here. It lifts and it removes. But here's what I wanted you to see. I wanted you to see some of the guts in here. So if you look, there's a little lever right here attached to a shaft right here. And on this side is that very noisy solenoid that when it's activated, it pushes in and pushes this lever like so. And in so, it activates or deactivates that lever. Let me walk you through how that little lever decides whether or not the game is going to credit up or it's going to reject the quarter and put it into the return slot. So when the coil on the side energizes, it's either going to move that lever in or out. And that's going to decide again whether a coin goes through and flicks the micro switch or whether it's going to go through the trough to give you your quarter back. And that all depends on whether the game is turned on or turned off. So if the game is on the apron, you see that little button there, or whatever you want to call it, little light. If that light is on, the game is ready to accept quarters. So that's basically in a track mode. So pretty interesting and pretty cool way of accomplishing that. Okay, so now let's take this piece out. If you notice, it is just slotted. So all three of them, it's just a lift and a pull. And then to install, it's the same thing. Just line them up and you drop it down. Okay, so I'm going to, and then we'll take apart that as well, and I'll show you how this part of the equation works and what it does. So, okay, so let me just organize myself here and I'll bring you right back. Okay, hopefully I don't lose you from the frame, but what we're going to do is we're going to completely disassemble this. So you take off this C-clip here, and that'll release. This is the start button, and then this is the coin eject. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, just the C-clip. I like putting these on a wire wheel just to shine them up all nice. And yeah, you want to definitely invest in receptacles so that you can keep everything all together, because there are so many different parts. It's unbelievable. All right, so how do we replace these faces here? All right, so all happens right here. So we're going to take off these two screws, which will remove it. Okay, so you can see here, it just sits in as so, and it's pressed into there. There's a slot for it. Okay, so I'm gonna remove everything just so I can give it a nice cleaning. And then these screws here will remove the hinge. Okay. So yeah, okay, so this is it taken apart. For this part, we're still going to get to that part of the coin door. But like I said, like how many pieces does it take to build a coin door? Unbelievable, eh? And let alone how intricate these are. This is a completely different monster altogether. I'm not going to bother getting into it. Oh, I just noticed this one does not have a lever, which now kind of makes sense why it showed the Bally free play. So basically what was happening, it was just bypassing everything. So I won't put this one back in. I'll just leave it on the 2 slots, and I'll show you how to do that. And with this part of the equation, it's basically just removing all these screws to take this off, and then we'll have just the face. So actually, let me see if I can do that and still have your attention. Okay. Can you see now? Let's put you up top here. Oh, okay. So if you want to remove just the front of the coin door or the skin, it's these 4 screws plus the chrome coin receiver part. So you don't have to disassemble the whole thing like we're doing right now. Okay, here's the skin. This is for add some support for the coin door. This little button here, it goes in like that. So the other way, and it just gives it some support because it's actually kind of hollow back here, and that's why you see these things get kicked in a lot. Because this is pretty substantial here. You'd have to give it a real good hoof. One thing that this is missing is that tongue that you see on the games. That you know, the coin door sitting there like that. There's that little tongue that floats back and forth. That one's missing. It's gone to a far better place, I'm sure. And here's our replacement coin door that we're going to be putting on. I got it screwed to the wall, but anyways, brand new. I bought it from Marco, I believe it was. So we're going to use that. And we're going to go from there. These things, you know what, it's funny. They always have some sort of like streaking of some liquid that's being dropped into them. But I'll probably paint it. We'll bling this up pretty good. And what's funny with coin doors as well, it's always the surface that is horizontal, that they all get dirty. I guess it's just years of, I don't know if it's dust or whatever it is that sits on it. Because look at here. Like, look how dirty that is. Underneath is relatively clean. And even the same with these coin slots. That's underneath is like upside down is good. Top side, it's really dirty. So anyway, we're going to clean all this up. I'm going to go out at it with just soap and water. I don't know if I'll bring out the ultrasonic. To be honest, I don't find that thing works very well anyway. But yeah, definitely hand wash, soap and water. We'll let it dry. Then I'll throw it in the Evaporust. Oh, and look how many pieces. Like, you know, it's unbelievable how many pieces go into this. This was empty when I started. Like just the screws, and we're not even done. Okay, all nice and clean. So now we can really see all the rusties. So look at this. This lands on this is on the top and underneath. It's like new. Anyway, it's all going in a bucket of de-ruster. Anything that's got the rusties, I'm just gonna drop it in overnight. Hopefully it all fits. Yes, I know there's a bucket there, but I don't think I have enough fluid in here. So we'll see how these things come out, because whatever reason. Okay, let's see what kind of goodies we got coming out of the Evaporust cocktail here. I'm just going to put some gloves on. I'll set you up. I won't speak too much because when I hang you up, everybody complains you can't hear me. So just enjoy, I guess, the scenery. So what we're going to do, basically take it out of there, put it into some water, clean it off. I got a brush here, copper brush, to help sort of exfoliate any remaining rust. Once it's washed off, we will dry it and I'll bring you back. So this is the back of the coin door, where everything sort of fits onto the frame of it. So I decided, instead of painting it, I'm just going to regrain it, just using a drywall sander and a red Scotch-Brite pad. And it's just an exercise of going back and forth and up and down motions. This is the same way I regrained my side rails on my last video, but not in a bucket of water like this. So this does a really good job. It's cleaning it out. It took what little superficial rust there was on it, and it's not overly taxing and low cost, because that's what we're all about, right? Okay, let's work on the plastics now. So these are the inserts that go behind your the chrome piece here, and these little coin thingies here. So I want to show you what we're going to do. The plastics, I think you can see they're all scratched up, very fine scratches. So what I'm going to do is use a selection of sandpapers from 800. So that's 6, 8, 1,000, and then 1,500, 2,000. So we're going up the grades, and we're going to wet sand them. And what we're going to do, and I'll show it to you, when we put it down to wet sand, we're going to go up and down one motion. Okay, and then we're going to move finer and finer and finer. And finally, we're going to move up to some sort of a polish. And I'll zoom in. Okay. All right, so 800, we're gonna do it wet. So I just have a bucket right here with water. Pour it in there just a bit. Okay. Okay, that's good. All right. All right, then we have to do this one. I might have to change the paper because it's getting kind of dull. So I'll bring you back when we get to the 2000 grit. What do you guys think? Okay, now we're into the 2000s. We're going to be spending some time here. All right, we'll bring it right back. Okay, here's where we are. This is the straight 2000. You can see it's got the lines in it. It's not overly shiny. But the next step, oh, that little yellow dot is actually where the light bulb was sitting on. Some rubbing compound. And then we got it to this level, is I'm going to spray it with some clear lacquer just to make it pop a little bit. So, okay, I think these come up pretty good. This one's got some dust in it, but whatever. But the Star of the Show is really good. So, on to assembly. Nice, fresh, clean. Let's get ready to put it back together. Look at all these pieces. And, you know, it doesn't even include like, you know, disassembling, like taking these off and all kinds of other things. Just unbelievable how many parts go into just the coin door. So I got everything all nice and clean. Came out of the evaporust. I ended up just regraining this. It came out great. I don't want to say good enough because good enough is a cop-out. I think it came out swimmingly. And this, it's just rust stained. It's not rusty, which is a big difference. But look at the difference in the coin ejector thingamabob here. Came out really good. Okay, let's start putting it together. We're going to start with, what should we start with? There's a couple of ways we can go. We can put the inserts in. You know what? Let's start with get the body, and then we'll put it onto the new shell and make it happen. So, okay, let me hang you up. Okay, let's begin by putting on these wings. You know what, I'm going to change my mind. I'm not going to put the middle one in. Only because that's the one that said free play on it and it doesn't have a coin chute. So just put those parts on the side as we get to it. Okay. 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 Now you see the relationship. Okay, stupid me. This is pretty important. Okay, not a big deal. Better we figured it out now than halfway through. I'm not really clamping down on the screws too tight at this point. That will happen in due time. Okay, well, let's get the coin door. Here's the coin door. Oh, almost forgot something. This just adds some reinforcement so that the key does not collapse, so that the lock does not collapse the space between the coin door and the body. So I gotta bring you guys up. Okay, now we can start with the coin chutes. Okay, that is this, but that's part of that. So let's grab the nicest ones, because we're only going to use 2. And check these out. So 2 pieces, they go together. Okay. And what's so cool, I have to prop this up pretty soon. Let's prop it up now. Not propped up too much. Can you guys still see? Of course you can see, because we're going to move you. Okay. What is really nifty is this goes in here, but look at this. And this tab goes as such. I'll show you again. So grab the nicer ones. Okay. See the tab here? Locks onto here. And this locks onto there. And what's cool is what locks it in are for the wiring harness, these C-clips. I'll show you that pretty soon. I actually got to do that. I got to do that now. I got to put the wiring harness in now. I'll tell you why. Because of the way it snakes in under the harness here. So it's 1, 2, 3. Goes like that. This will go like that, and then the light bulbs, and that. So this has to go under here. goes under there. This all goes from the top. And then go the coin doors. Okay. And just remember, slides through here. It goes in as such. All right. Now, what we're going to do now is let's lock in the screw here. Okay, well, it's locked in. Pretty smart, eh? Okay. Bring you up to speed with what's going on down here. So these go first. Let me just get my screws. And they go in concert with these. And they go in on an angle. So the first time you do this, you might be thinking, what am I not doing right? I'll tell you, I've done enough of them and I'm still going to be complaining, because what has to happen here is this needs to go in on an angle. You got to catch the screws at the right angle. So there's the see how it's on an angle, but this piece stays straight. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. So you know what? I'm not putting this in. Forget it. All right, but I will put this side in. Okay. Yeah, I know you're thinking, why didn't I record this one? Live and learn. Try, and you will succeed. Okay, now this has been messed with, and the reason I know that is there's usually some hoods that go on top of the mechs here, but this is okay. It allows us to flick the credits a little easier. Perfect. Okay. Now, let's, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put on the start button. Okay, remember I said, you guys can see okay, right? Yeah, okay. Remember I said that the screws are unique? So they're skinny. You could have, if you mixed them up, you'd figure it out, but you'd be not chasing your tail, but you'd be chasing and cursing like I probably would. Okay. And let's put on the gravity cheat. What do we want to call this thing? We'll call it the other cheat on this side. Again, the screws are special for this too. And if you look, you know, talk about attention to detail. They even put this plastic thing on top of the metal. I'm assuming so that the knocker wouldn't damage the metal, unless it's there for maybe some sort of insulation from ground. I don't know, but pretty cool, eh? And these are unique screws as well. All right, let me just tighten these up now. All right, now let's put in the annoying buzzy thingy. So this is the lockout. Okay, if I don't have it right, not a big deal, I can take it apart. Yes, I just did that. Okay, then this goes, gotta remember, that goes like that. And this is gonna go, ah, here we go, there we go, okay. Oh, I mean, so that needs to go. There's a certain orientation here. I think I put this on the wrong way. Yep, okay. Okay. That's better. I'll also replace this diode. There we go. Okay. Once I put the right spring on, we'll be good to go. Okay, so it's gonna end this portion. We got to put that together right now. So let's put this to the side. Let's get working on this. So first, okay, here's where it starts to get a bit confusing, because it's a combination of holes, screws going through to hold the chrome part, and screws to hold the light bulbs, and screws to hold. It's just screws holding a lot of stuff. So, all right, let's pull you out and start getting you oriented the proper way. I got to peel back this protective layer. just going to pull it back enough to reveal the screw holes. All right, so you're going to see screw holes here, and everything has a corresponding, it's either receiving a screw on the other side or holding for a screw. So I'm going to go by the legacy holes first. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, which line up. Just got to put down a little more. Okay, so let's go with, let's go with black. It doesn't matter. Well, one of them is not the screw. It is this one here. Is this one. I'll show you in a second. A little bit more. Yeah, you can see. So we've got to install this. Big oopsie coming here. The bracket that I'm installing should actually be on the other side, and I end up correcting it in a little while. So note to self, that long screw should be on the other side, and that bracket as well. Yep, this bracket right here. Okay, we are rounding the corner. Let's just give you a quick look as to what we got going on so far. Okay, now it's a question of it's screwing. So these four we know, 1, 2, 3, 4, are the silver ones, and we're actually missing something. Let me just bring you over to my stash. So you guys are gonna think I'm nuts, but I got a bunch of these. Spring return holder thingies. Can you have it there? Got enough of it. All right, let's set you up again. I'll tell you why this thing's important in a couple of minutes. So you are gonna go there, and I'm not gonna lose you. Okay. Now, all right, so use some legacy holes here. There's that damn bracket. It's causing me stress. Okay. Let's go with silver. You can see I'm doing good. Okay. Yeah. Tell you why it's important to get these in the right spots in a second. Okay. This is going to go here. Okay, this, I have to figure out this wiring, see what's going on here. I'm going to look at the schematic. But it's probably related to, yeah, this is the light bulb. It's missing a light bulb. Okay, whatever. So this is going to go here. Oh, guys, I'm stretching out my back here. All right. Here is going to come this. I think it's 2. Let's try 2. No, you know what? I think it's on the other side because there is no legacy hole there. Okay. This one we're not worrying about because there's nothing here. Okay, that's going to go through. Okay, perfect. Now we start securing from this side. That's why it was kind of important. Gotcha. You know, I can't put you down. Well, okay. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, if I do you this way. Okay, that'll work. Okay. Quarters line up with these. Good to go. Okay, now let's start popping some in here, and I'll show you why that little thing is required. Okay. So this thing holds the spring for the coin flush thing return. That damn bracket is looking me in the face and I don't see it. Okay. So this is how this is going to work. Make sure you know what I did. I put this on the wrong side. No big deal. That's not the only thing I put on the wrong side. Okay. All the wiring goes under here. That's better. Look at it. This is not good here. This has got to get tightened. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Okay, that's better. Okay. Gotta tighten this bolt somehow. The easiest way would have been not to have this crap there. I might have to actually take it out. Okay, so I made a bit of a boo-boo. This hook thing actually goes on the switch side, and that's blank here, so now this works. Let me show you the coin mechs go in. And so, I'm not going to use these ones because they're dirty, but I'll just show you just real quick. So basically what's going to happen is this hooks in as so. Yeah, you can see it. Then you lift this, and it slaps in, and you just gotta wiggle that. There we go. That's it. So now we should have this nice and springy. once I fix the spring here. But that's pretty well it. It's a little better than it did before, I would think. Take the camera down and give you a better review. What do you guys think? We'll clean up the wires. Just flip around. This is going to look really nice. Once I peel this off, that gets peeled off right at the very end. But I don't know, what do you guys think? 70 bucks at Allentown. Changes the whole thing. Okay, it might be a good idea to see if this thing works. So what should happen is I'm going to drop the coin in through the coin slot, and you're not going to see it, obviously. It's going to travel through here. It's going to get registered here, and it should flick this micro switch. So it happens pretty quick once the drop happens, so just keep your eyes on it. Perfect. Let's do it again. Awesome. But anyway, here's the final product. And I'm going to show you what these typically look like in a game. But I think you can attest that it actually came out really nice. Now, even the time we spent on the coin door inserts looks pretty good as well. I'm going to take the skin off once it goes in the game, just so that, you know, I don't damage it in the meantime. So let me show you a comparable of what I'm used to seeing anyway. Pull one out of the shed in the back. Okay, I guess this the proof's in the pudding. Dug this one out of the shed, which is a little worse than what we started with on this one, but nonetheless, I think you can definitely appreciate the difference, especially when it comes to the back. Again, nobody ever sees the back, like, let's face it. You know, most guys will just get it so that the coin doors work, so that the coins accept and trigger the micro switch and call it good. But I think putting in, let's not kid ourselves. This probably took 6 hours, 5-6 hours anyways. But it looks so much nicer. I think we can all agree to that. And again, you know, where's the fun in just slapping something together and calling it good? Do the best you can. And with the exception of replacing the skin for the coin door, technically this did not cost us a dime. Just a lot of sweat equity and some elbow grease. So anyway, I hope this, I don't know, brought you some sort of entertainment anyways. And I have a whole bunch of other things in the pipeline that we'll be talking to in the very, very near future. So to that end, rushfan@live.ca. Feel free to send me an email. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that for me. The channel is approaching over 750 subscribers, and I'd like to get to 1,000, which doesn't sound like much, but given the whole reason I started the channel, I think it'll resonate with some long-term subscribers. And at the end of the day, friends, please, you know, be well, keep safe, and keep rushing and rolling, okay? Over and out.